Hey guys, before we start the video, I just wanna first of all apologize because I recorded this whole video and the setup was just as it always is, but for some reason I didn't have the microphone recording. So aside from this clip, which I am using my good mic for, the whole video is gonna be using the camera's microphone. These things happen. It was only a matter of time that it would happen to Watch Candy, but the show must go on. Also, I really like having the camera this close. I might do this more often. Anyways, enjoy the show. Hey, welcome to Watch Candy. I'm really excited that you could make it to this episode. This is an episode that I should have made a long time ago, and it's about something I feel very strongly about in the watch space. I'm excited to talk about it. This video doesn't have any script or bullet points or anything. It's just something I wanted to sit down and just vent. So let's jump right in and let me just get this off my chest. If you've been a part of the watch community for just about any length of time, even if you're just doing research on buying your first watch, there is no doubt that you've come across someone somewhere who has very strong opinions about sizing. Something that's really typical in just about any watch review. Oh, this watch is 41 millimeters wide, so those of you who have a wrist size of, I don't know, 6.5 or smaller, you're gonna have a hard time pulling this off. Or in the other sense, this watch is 36 millimeters wide or smaller, so those of you with a 7.5-inch wrist or larger, you're gonna have a hard time wearing this watch right. And that just bugs me so bad. And this is where two of my passions meet, which is watches and fashion, which really have always gone hand in hand, but it seems a lot of people don't quite grasp how much they are truly intertwined, because watches are undeniably and irreversibly tied with fashion. It doesn't matter how little you personally actually care about your outfit or the fashion statement of a watch versus your clothes or whatever. It still exists. It's still a thing. Even watches that are just tool watches or for utility or whatever, that all comes into play and creates a fashionable aesthetic. If you show just about any clip from like high runway fashion to someone who isn't into fashion, they'll just laugh and see like the bizarre and interesting clothing that are, yeah, entirely impractical. They don't understand that these are not clothes meant for people to actually wear. They're not gonna be seen on shelves in a store. A lot of people need to stop thinking about it less as like a clothing item and more as a painting or a sculpture. The reason I bring that up is to prove that fashion isn't about adhering to rules. So the fact that a lot of people seem to think that watch collecting is supposed to adhere to a certain set of rules is crazy to me, and the whole reason why I want to make this video. Case in point, I am wearing right now one of, if not the biggest G-Shock has ever made. And that is saying something, but my wrist is like 6.25 inches at the biggest. So why do I wear this massive watch that at its widest clocks in at 58.26 millimeters wide? Because I feel very strongly that a well-rounded collector has a wide variety of sizes in their collection. Not just to tick the box of, oh, I have a big watch and a small watch, but because it's fun to pull off an oversized watch. This watch dwarfs me. Look at this. This is crazy. But because the watch is such a statement piece, it means fashion-wise, I get to have a lot of fun and create an outfit that works with it. I've got big silver rings on right now. I've got a silver necklace with an amethyst pendant, goes with the purple. And then it kind of ties together with my slim top. And all of these things come together to both complement and contrast my watch, which are both principles of art and design. And the same thing goes for people with larger wrists and smaller watches. Of course, this side of the conversation has been a lot more explored lately, especially with men. A lot of men are starting to wear smaller watches, which is great. But for some reason, smaller wristed people wearing larger watches still doesn't seem to go through the same way. Who cares if the lug-to-lug makes a little bit of overhang on your wrist? If you like the watch and you like the oversized look, you should not let that stop you from loving and enjoying the watch. It pains me every time I hear anyone say, that they loved a certain watch, but because, and purely because of its dimensions, they didn't buy it. Listen, guys, the only requirement to buying a watch other than money is if you like it or not. You don't have to worry about the dimensions and the sizing and all of these things that people have taught us to worry about. Wearing what you love, no matter what other people say, is a huge part of expressing yourself, and that is a huge part of watch collecting. Now, I will add a slight caveat, a disclaimer, if you will, to this point. I do understand and have had personal experiences with watches, especially on metal bracelets, where if you take out all the links you possibly can and it still is just not fitting right, it's still too big, too loose, it is okay to say at that point, okay, this watch is just unwearable. Bulova Lunar Pilot, I'm looking at you. So the second part of this conversation that I really wanted to address, and it kind of goes hand in hand with part one, is my frustration with watches being labeled as men's or women's watches. Now, before you click off this video, I'm not about to go into a whole like gender role whatever conversation. That is not what this channel is about. I just wanted to vent out my frustration, especially to people who will love a watch and then see that it's labeled as a woman's watch or a man's watch, and that alone turns them off from the watch. Guys, listen, I've sold watches for years. A lot of people start right out the gate. Is this a men's watch or a women's watch? Bro, you've already got it out of the case. You've already tried it on. At that point, it doesn't matter. If you're worried about someone seeing that watch on your wrist and being like, why are you wearing a women's watch? Then you've got the wrong priorities. And again, this goes both ways. Ladies, if you want to wear a larger watch, go for it. And guys, if you want a watch with diamonds and a pink mother of pearl dial, you should have every right to wear that watch. Again, a well-rounded collector has a little bit of everything. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this video. I know this episode definitely was a little bit more heated than other episodes. I just wanted to be the one to break this, quite frankly, stupid train of thought. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear your perspective on this. And join Watch Candy, we'd love to have ya. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.